Into the Predict Channel is back, and we are looking at a live view at Lake Oroville. It is currently 6:14 and 31 seconds, 33 seconds, and so on. We are currently 4 o'clock there at Lake Oroville. The calm before the storm. There is big time rains, snows coming to Lake Oroville, and this is going to be a monster, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be tons of precipitation coming this way, and be prepared. That's all I can say is be ready. The sun's starting to go towards the west, and it will be setting here within the next couple hours. And let's roll out to tropical tidbits first and see what's going on as we roll out there now. As we roll out to tropical tidbits, you could see the next 6 hours. California is dry except for the very tip corner here, and we start to scoot in. You could see the system starts to make its way by February 29th, 2024. You can see that this is starting to get the west coast in general is going to be extremely wet. You got a low pressure up here, high pressure dominating back here. This low pressure that was over here yesterday has scooted away, and now we are dealt with this. A little bit of precipitation in Texas. I heard there was wildfires in Texas yesterday. God bless them. Hopefully everything is okay in Texas. So we keep on scooting. You can see the snow starting to kick in, and it's going to get wet for the next several days. We're March 1st, and there's snow in the mountains, so rain in the valleys. You can see everything is kicking in just fine and dandy, and then it scoots down. A little bit of snow down here. It's not real heavy right at the moment. With this on Friday, March 1st, you can see that the snow continues to kick in, continues to intensify. You got a 989 low pressure. That's pretty powerful. You got 1,000 low pressure up here and 1,000 over here. Everything in between is not too much. You have a little bit of snowfall in northern Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, Utah, northern Utah, western Washington, western Wyoming, and a little bit of Montana. Just an atmospheric river, as people say. A river in the atmosphere is basically what you have going on here, and it's just dumping in the Sierra Mountain Range. Look at this. This is crazy. There is a ton of precipitation happening, and it starts to scoot down, and it just keeps dumping. We're 6 hours in. We're already on the 2nd, and it's been snowing for a whole day, and it continues to snow. We are now into the 3rd, and it's still snowing. So the 29th, the 1st, the 2nd, now 3rd, and you can see it's still snowing all the way through. This low pressure's all the way here, and it continues to snow. Not as heavily, but it's still snowing fairly heavy here, and it's made it all the way into central Nevada, central Utah, and already into Colorado as well. Nothing much in Arizona. You don't have a whole lot going there. You have another low pressure here, so this low pressure's out here, 995, 999, and you have this low pressure kicking a ton of precipitation back into southern Canada, northern United States, in Montana, North Dakota. This weakens a little bit. This is 10:02, but you're still getting precipitation here in California. You're on the 3rd day, so now you're 4 days in with precipitation, and now you're 5 days in. Now you're into Monday, and there's still light snow falling. Now this is not as heavy as it was, but it's still incredible. And then it keeps dumping. This low pressure is not near as strong as this one. This is 999 isobars. This is 1005, so it's a weak low pressure, but it's still bringing in precipitation. We're still on the 4th, still snowing on the 4th. We go into Tuesday, and you can see it's still snowing. So now you're 6 days in. So 6 solid days possibly of precipitation. The 6 hour, this is noon on March 5th. This is 6 p.m. on March 5th. There's still possibly some snow. It looks like maybe another low pressure developing. We go into Wednesday. Still you have a little bit of snow. Now this is not as intense as it was. You have all this over here. It's like a dirty high pressure right here over Colorado with a little bit of snow. Finally, most of California clears out Wednesday around 6 a.m. or so. A little bit of snow over maybe by Happy Camp in Crescent City, maybe out that way. But another low pressure starts to form, a 1006 right here. And you can see this is intense coming into Oregon, Northern California. It starts to scoot in, and now you're at the 18-hour mark, this 1005. And this is a ton of precipitation. You can see how the dark blues is calling for a ton of precipitation. Now look at this. Now it intensifies, and now it's 998. So now you're 7 days in a row possibly of precipitation. You're 8 days in a row of precipitation possibly coming. Even further, 999 998. Look at all the dark blues in the mountains. A lot of snow. Some reports say maybe up to 10 feet. We'll be looking at windy.com here in a little bit to see if that's accurate. We go to Thursday at noon, and you can see that it's starting to scoot away. Maybe it will die down. Maybe you'll get a break. Finally, it's lightened up quite a bit. 999 isobars in Colorado. Not as intense as it was. The mountains just tear it apart. A little bit of snow left over here on next Friday, possibly. We keep on scooting. Finally, Friday afternoon's kind of dry, but then look at this, more rain coming. And this is Saturday. So now you have another day of rain possibly. Storm after storm after storm is hitting California over and over again. More snow, not near as intense as the last one, but you don't need any more at that point. Look at this massive low pressure out here on the West Coast just getting ready to hit. Starting to hit Washington, Oregon, California, and you're already on the 10th. So you're 11 days possibly of precipitation, especially for northern California. So this is going to be a doozy, a monster. Just storm after storm, and this one's powerful. Look at the starts to intensify. This is next Sunday. So now this is Sunday at noon, Sunday at 6 p.m., Monday morning, more snow. This is crazy. This is insane. This is 12 days straight. You might go 14 days solid with precipitation. This could be one for the record books, ladies and gentlemen. This is something definitely we're going to have to watch every day going forward. So be tuning in. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Let's grow this channel and let's bring awareness to what could possibly be coming down the pike. This could be very, very dramatic, especially when this snow starts to melt this spring. If they're not on the ball at Lake Oroville, New Bollards Bar, Lake Shasta, Lake Trinity, we could have ourselves problems coming down the pike. Just throwing it out there if this forecast comes to pass. We are 11 days in. This is Monday. Let's go to the next loop. Tuesday, more snow. Now you're 13 days. You're almost 14 days straight of possible precipitation coming through. 13, 14. Finally, does it start to dry out? Finally, on Thursday, March 14th. That's a half a month almost, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly a precipitation. Will it finally come to an end? There's another one possibly brewing up here. We will have to watch that. That's a very long way out, but man, for the shortfall, you guys are going to get wet. You're going to be snowy. If you live in the mountains, be prepared. Go get you some food today while it is beautiful out, because after today, it's Katie bar the door for you folks. I'm telling you, it is coming, and this is going to be one for the record books. I'm almost certain of it. Let's go to windy.com and see how much this equivalates in rain first, and then we will go to snowfall. We'll check both models, and then we'll go see what the lakes currently are at. Hopefully they're releasing a lot of water, but to windy.com we go now. We're going to start off at the GFS, being that that's what we had first. Look at this, 9.53 in the next 10 days. And this model we just looked at goes way past 10 days. 10.3, 8.69. Yuba City for my friend Steve out there, 3.15. My friends down in Bakersfield, you're talking about half inch. So this is not going to be one for the record books for LA. They are going to get some precipitation, like 0.27. Santa Maria, that just got hit really hard, they're going to get a little bit. I don't think you're going to have to worry about your snowpack after these systems go through. If it holds true, we will definitely be watching to see if this happens. San Francisco, 2.5 inches. Stockton, 2.58. Sacramento, 3.4. South Lake Tahoe, 8.78. Susanville, 4.12. Redding, 4.2. Eureka, 6.26. Crescent City, 7.8. And that Lake Shasta over here, we go up to Mount Shasta, 5.6, and Lake Shasta, 5.6. Lake Trinity, 5.69. We go over to New Bollards Bar down here. You're talking about 8.38, 8.03. We go to the European. It's not as heavy, so they're calling for 8 there. Mount Shasta, 4.5. Crescent City, 6.91. Happy Camp, 5.54. Eureka, 5.85. So you get the gist. Yuba City, they're not calling for near as much, about the same amount. Bear Valley, 9.5. Carson City, 4.3. We go over to Reno, Nevada. You're talking about 3.8. You can see right along the border here, almost 8 inches. They're calling for more precipitation in Los Angeles, 1.29. So Fresno, 2.2, and Bakersfield, 1.51. So this is what we got going on for rain. Let's see what the new snow might be. The new snow, it could be intense in spots. 108 inches possibly coming. We go to the south, 57 inches. We go up to Reno. You're talking 33 inches. Let's go down to Oroville and see what's going on there. They're saying maybe half inch at Oroville. The lake, 3.5. Paradise, possibly 6.4. But then we go up to Caribou, and they're calling for 64 inches. We come over here to the New Bullards Bar Reservoir, and you're talking about 92 possibly inches in the watershed there. Something we'll definitely have to be watching. We come over here towards the American River. You're talking almost 80 inches possibly. The GFS, however, is calling for 116. So they are calling for much more precipitation, especially for New Bullards Bar, 121. Bear Valley, 106. And 71 for Yosemite. Mammoth Lake, 63. Reno, possibly 41 inches. Chester, 68 inches. East Quincy, 103. So 125 is the highest I could find. So let's do the math on that. 125 is over 10 feet of snow. That is incredible. You imagine getting 10 feet of snow? My friend down in Yuba City, Steve, you're going to have to watch this. Maybe if you can get up there and get some video, that would be fantastic. If not, no worries. Willow Creek, possibly 50 inches. So we have a ton of precipitation coming, a ton of snow, and let's go see what the snowfall is currently in California. As we roll out, you can see that North Sierra Trinity is at 92% for the day, 80%. This will be well over 100 if these storms come to pass. You get 14, 15 days of possible snow up in these mountains. Wow, that's all I can say. You're going to be well over 100. We'll definitely be watching this. This will be something we'll need to watch. 67%. This is water equivalent, so people may know. So the water equivalent to inches is basically, this is your average. So April 1st is the average. They compare the number from today to April 1st, and it's 80%. And then normal for this date's 92%. So you can see the South is not doing so well. It's not faring well. Neither is the Central. 67%, 76. So when these storms came through, they weren't really snowmakers. They came from Hawaii. They were very warm. There was some snow, but not a lot of snow. Further north, like in Lake Shasta and whatnot, they received a ton of precipitation, so that was good. But they also received a lot of rain. There was over 11 inches of rain that fell in certain areas up that way, so that was a lot. And then you can see they're pretty much the same, 67 for both and 77 and 76. Statewide, we're looking currently at 70 for your April 1st average and 80%. Let's roll out to Lake Folsom. We'll start down there first and see what's going on at Lake Folsom currently. So I got a late start. Some stuff came up and now I'm finishing up. So this is a little later and we are looking at Lake Folsom. We are at 429.31 feet today. And this was Wednesday, February 28, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is currently 36.60 feet below full pool of 466 feet. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.39 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also down 1.06 feet over the last 7 days. However, the lake is up 0.86 feet over the last 14 days. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 8.91 feet. And over the last 120, the lake is up 6.40 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 6.46 feet. Your current inflows are 4,151. Your outflows are 6,271. We go to the 3-year bar graph, 419.75 in 2022. Last year, we were looking at 422.85, and today we're at 429.31 feet, and percentage of capacity is currently 62.26%. Let's go up to Lake Trinity next. As we roll out to Lake Trinity, the current water level is 2,324.33 feet, and that was Wednesday, February 28, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 45.67 feet below full pool of 2,370. Changes since yesterday. The lake is up 0.33 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is up 2.89 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 10.32 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 22.93 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 45.87 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up, 93.63 feet. Your inflows are currently 2,951. Your outflows are 0. And let's go to Lake Shasta next. As we roll out to Lake Shasta, the current water level is 1,039.05 feet, and that was Wednesday, February 28th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 27.95 feet below full pool of 1,067. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 1.02 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 7.47 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.2 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 6.42 feet. Over the last year, the lake is also up 24.96 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 42.83 feet. Your inflows are 3,462. Your outflows are, look at this, 25,485. So they are really letting a bunch of water out with all this precipitation possibly coming. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. That's a lot of outflows currently, 25,485. Let's go to your 3-year bar graph. 938.23 in 2022. Last year, we were looking at 996.22 feet. Of course, today we're at 139.05 feet, and percentage of capacity is currently 82.79%. Last and final stop, Lake Oroville next. As we roll out to Lake Oroville, your current water level is 861.54 feet, and that was Wednesday, February 28th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 38.46 feet below full pool of 900. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.21 feet. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 0.89 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 12.17 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 19.38 feet. Over the last 120 days, 41.85 feet, and over the last year, we're only up 29.38 feet. Your inflows are currently only 7,374, and as you see in the video, they are releasing water. It's starting to get dark. I had to reshoot this because, once again, I got busy, so this is what we got. 6,511, your outflows CFS. We'll see when they start ramping this up more. As we go to your 3-year bar graph, 747.58 feet in 2022, 832.16. It looks like a set of steps going up. 861.54 percentage of capacity. We are currently at 83.85%. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video. We will see you on the next one. Have a blessed day. God bless and stay safe in California.